Hello. It has been a minute. I have not been on in a minute, but it feels good to be back in my space this evening. So, first of all, I just want to say I haven't been here for a minute, but it is very necessary to take a break when you need to. So, I needed to take a break and I did that. And I want to express to everyone else that when you feel that moment that you need that time for yourself to just woo sow, breathe, whatever it is, I would call it a mental health moment because I just felt like I was overwhelmed. I did that. So when you're feeling like that, take your time, fall back, do what you need to do for yourself to stay healthy. So I'm excited to be back on the Authentic Podcast, honey. I feel good. I look good. It's about to go down. Okay. Make sure y'all have y'all drinks because it is Thirsty Thursday on the podcast. We always have a drink for your soul. This evening, I am so excited to be back with such an amazing guest. Miss Angie Bell. I met Angie for a Mother's Day brunch retreat by the Babes and Boots Empire with Miss Ashley Montgomery, Ashley Key. And Angie was a force to be reckoned with. You know what I'm saying? My girl was coming through. She was banging. She was dropping them gems. And I already knew that I was going to have to invite her as a guest on my podcast because she just fits. You know, she's authentic. When she spoke, you know, like she said, she was like, when I open up my mouth, people stop and look. And I'm like, yep, you sure right, sis, because I'm looking. So, without further ado, Miss Angie Bell is a retired Army veteran, entrepreneur, owner of Bundles by Bell, celebrity wig maker, and brand advisor for Bronner Brothers. Let's welcome Miss Angie Bell to the Authentic Podcast. How you doing, my girl?
What's up, Key? Like, how you come in on that introduction? Like, that's wow. You see my face, like it's rare for me to blush, and you got me
You know
blushing.
I don't forget nothing.
I gotta say hi to my folks. What up, April? Hi, Sade. Don, T, what's going on? What's up? Miss Lightning. What is your first name? I'm tired of calling you Miss Lightning, Bradley, and don't speak lies. Kiki, that's my cousin. Wait, everybody, they disappearing. But y'all, hi, welcome to the party. Thank y'all for tuning in and supporting me.
Do y'all have y'all drinks? Do y'all have y'all drinks? Because it is Thirsty Thursday. And
Thanks
on
for
the
having me.
Authentic Podcast, okay, we definitely provide a drink for your soul. Okay, when you come up off of this thing, you're
Trisha.
gonna be lit and you're gonna be ready. You're gonna be on fire. So there's a
Jasmine
drink for
Harris.
your
Girl,
soul.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, you good, mama. You're good. So at this time, if you would like to, I gave a very, very
Butterfly.
short and brief introduction. So I would like for you at this time to let us know who you are, what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? Because I already know they ain't even ready for what you got coming with. I gave them that minor stuff about Miss Angie Bell, but you about to let them know what you got going on and what God has done for you. So let us know who you are.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, Roberta. Hey, hey, Aura. But no, can you guys see me? Because on my side, my little screen is frozen. But can you see me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, to be honest, I'm 34. I'm a 34-year-old combat veteran who has now successfully transitioned from the military into being a successful hairstylist, wig maker, beauty brand owner, and brand ambassador, and brand now new title, brand advisor. Um, I'm pretty laid back. I'm originally from Providence, Rhode Island. I grew up between Providence, Rhode Island, and Birmingham, Alabama. So that was the first culture shock of my life ever. Going from the north to the south as a teenager. But I've traveled the world. I've lived in foreign countries for years. My first time actually being an adult in the continental United States was in 2020. So I'm just a simple person. I'm a world traveler, and I have a lot of experience. So
All right. Well, Angie, that is very brief for your character, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and come in on the podcast at your comfortability level. But okay, if you need to come in slow, sis, I'm gonna let you come in slow. But I already know that you got a little bit more than that. Okay. So because when I okay y'all, so Angie and I were both speakers for the Babes in Boots Mother's Day brunch in Houston, Texas. And so, I was just looking at all of the different women that I were going to be seeing on the flyer because I had not met any of these women or most of these women. And whenever Angie's flyer came out, I was like, okay,
Hey, Erica.
she kind of dope. So when I seen Angie, I just was coming from the bathroom and she was sitting down. So I passed up and I was like, oh, that's her. And, I have like this old bubbly country personality. So I passed Angie. I'm like, oh, it's you. And Angie like, okay, yeah, it's me. And who are you? But that's okay because you're now on my podcast. So that means
Right.
all went well. You know what I'm saying? Two different type of spirits, but God connected. So it's all good. So I want to thank you for being here. I totally appreciate it. I asked, and without a doubt or a hesitation, you were with it. I know that your life is like really taking off. So for me, that's big, for you to stop. Because some people, when they taking off, they forget. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you, sis. Okay, much love to you.
Baby, we are in the
What you
middle of
about to say?
working right now. I literally took a break to plug out, to come over here and to do this podcast right now. The Roland Banks and Freedom, the makeup artist, like Mr. Gifted Two Hands, Freedom on the Beat. Like these people are stopping their lives right now to help me with a campaign that I'm doing. So like it never stops. Work is constantly going. Like I told you, I'm at New York's showroom, and that Roland Banks is the owner, and Freedom is here. Help like y'all don't understand how hectic my life is nowadays. There used to be a time where I could, be on Facebook for a couple hours, engage my friends, talk to people, and now it's just like I'm on the phone. I'm like, hey, let me call you right back. I gotta take this call. Then it's hey, I get on that call and it's like I gotta go. I gotta take this call. I'm in the middle of running errands back and forth between events. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like
Yeah,
this is
but
this
it's but it's
everybody.
the but it's the time that you prayed and wished for. So you
I
gotta
can't lie to
step in
her.
that thing, baby, and make it do what it do. I'm proud of you. I mean, I just met you and I'm proud of you. So
Thank
keep
you.
doing it. Yes, keep doing it. And I'm gonna be over there with you at Nior. Am I saying
Yes,
it right?
your showroom.
Nior showroom. I'm gonna be
Yes.
over there with you. Okay. You're
This is
gonna meet Mr. Roland before we end this call.
Yes, you have to like just look at who he is on his Instagram, like even Freedom. So Freedom is a celebrity makeup artist out here. He's an esthetician. Hey, Treese. He is huge in the industry. Like I met Freedom on set styling Letitia Pearson for the Bell Collective reunion.
Okay.
Okay. And when I met him, just his energy, who he was, how he came across, like it was like, oh my God, like I need to be friends with this person. I need to be friends with
Yeah.
this. And then at Spice's birthday party, a couple months ago, I ended up meeting Roland because he styled baby, 8 down. Do you hear me? 8 down. And it was just like, I was observing him and I just started talking to him. We started a conversation, a dialogue, and it was like, I need to be working with him. Like, we need to be friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, I just moved out here to Atlanta. I've been out here for maybe about a year and a half. And so when I moved here, I lost the circle of friends that I had, and really I was in a transitional phase in life. So those people were going to fall off anyway.
Right.
So I lost a very big circle. And I'm not talking about my family because my family is the people that chimed in, like Chesney, Erica, April, Patrice.
The people that been down, I got you.
Right. The people that have been down from the start. You
Yeah.
feel what I'm saying? Nah,
Right.
because I was
They're
going to
not
call
going
her as
nowhere.
Miss Lightning
Yeah.
again, and that is not Jasmine. That's her name. You feel
Yeah.
like my family, the people that have been here for me since day one, that were coming to my house in Hawaii and buying edge controls and shampoo and conditioners out my living room. The people that
Yes.
screamed my name and wasn't afraid to give me my flowers in public. See, they never fell off. But those people who are around me 24/7, every single day, talking about this my best friend, this my girl, I love her, this and that. The moment that they felt like I was down, they made sure to try to keep me there.
Yeah. Mhm.
And that was the sickest part. You know what I mean? Like I went through in the last 2 years of my life, I went through a huge transition because when I really emerged out and really kind of started making noise with this platform and with this brand, I was in a really small, really isolated place, which was an island. I had I had a really small but really big community, which was my military brothers and sisters, my battle buddies. You know what I mean? And when I began to cultivate and create my image outside of the military, my image was ingrained with another person because at the time I was a couple. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, must be having technical difficulties, but just stay with us. I'm sure she'll join back in a second. There she goes. Yeah, my
Okay.
baby.
Oh, no problem. But like I said, when my image began to emerge and I began to emerge out on the scene, it wasn't just Angie, it was Angie and my husband at the time. So that's how everyone knew me, because he was big in the music community, or he was getting big in the music community. He was a prominent engineer out there, and then I used to host like Sunday dinners, kickbacks, and I had a really prominent friend group over there. I was a non-commissioned officer at the time, high speed, so all my friends were high speed non-commissioned officers, and we were kind of like the populars, if that makes sense. you
Yes.
know um and so what happened is, I came out onto the scene, I introduced myself to everybody, I began to grow my image and who I was, and befriend all these people. And what happened is, when I had a fall from grace, meaning when I left my husband, people showed their true colors, because they thought, oh, there goes her fall. They never expected the elevation. They never expected the rebirth. They never expected the way that I was going to turn life around and make life back what it was, and actually better, because when they met me as a team and not as an individual.
Right. They didn't know
So
what you was packing.
that part. So life in these last couple of years has showed me a lot. I used to be a very open person. I used to open my home to people all the time, let folks come and stay with me, allow people to use my cars, give people, like, because of how my heart is. I was raised by an activist. My great grandmother has a day named after her. She has a playground named after her. When she passed away a couple of months ago, the city came out and gave us a plaque because of all the work that she's done within our city and all the legislations and laws she got enacted. Like, I was raised by a true force, and she taught me to have a heart that is bigger than my body.
Mhm.
So all it takes is me getting to know a person, or feeling something for a person, and saying, well, you know what, don't worry about it. I know you're struggling right now, but I got you. Because as an adult, I have never really known struggle, because I've worked hard my whole entire adult life. I chose not to take my circumstances or what I have been through, or the trauma that I had experienced in my young life, and bring it into my adult life. The minute I turned 18 years old and I got my own control over my life, I went and got an ID card. My mama took me. I went over to Job Corps, because by this time I was out of school. I wasn't really doing anything with myself. I went to Job Corps, learned a trade, and went straight from Job Corps into the military. And when I joined the military, life took off for me,
Yeah.
because I was in a place where I could take off. I was in a place where I was being groomed to be the best. I went to an institution where it was okay for me. It was actually highly recommended for me to be confident in myself, to have some pride about myself when I walked around, to be confident within myself and my abilities, to be able to depend on the people that stood to the left and the right of me. And that was something I had never had. I didn't grow up being raised to be proud of myself. Yes, to be proud of my family name, but in essence, not to be proud of myself, because every time I had a little bit of pride about myself, somebody was coming to take it from me or knock it out of me.
Yes. Yes. So did that change? Did okay, that part of it. Did it change? You spoke about having a big heart, and I relate to you because I have a big heart. And
Thank you, Miss B.
sometimes I hate that I have a big heart. Okay. I love that I love, but sometimes I hate that I have a big heart. So do you at sometimes pull back? Does it make you want to change, or does it continue to um do you continue to implement love, or does it make you
Every
want to
day,
change?
every day, I will not allow somebody on the outside to change my insides, because that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
And I will not allow that to happen. No, the only thing that I've changed is the people who I'm good to.
Come on,
Big
girl.
difference. Big difference. See, my friends now, they're in rooms screaming my name. So those people who love on me like that, well, I love on them like that back, because I'm grateful. So I learned how to stop
That's a
giving
whole
to
word.
leeches, into siphons, and stop pouring in buckets with holes in it, and learn to start pouring into people who have hearts like mine.
Yes. That's a whole
Big
word.
difference.
Like, you're speaking to me right now, because you don't have to change who you are. It's just who you're pouring into. That's a whole
Baby.
word.
Because that's the fact. You got to understand, when people see your happiness, let me tell you something. There's nothing more dangerous than black girl or black boy joy. That is
Mm,
dangerous, because when people see you happy, the first thing they want to do is take it from you, because they're not happy. But they don't understand that happiness comes from within. It comes from
yes,
self. Can't nobody take my happiness from me, because my happiness comes from me. When I wake up every single morning, I look out my windows and I see how far I've come from the ghetto, from being homeless, kicked out, constantly in the streets, a childhood runaway, all over the news, because I would not go back home because of just the damage. Do you understand what I'm saying? The abuse, those types of cycles. I went from that to living the life of my dreams. I get up every single day and do what I want to do. If I want to work, I work. If I don't, I don't. And I don't have to, because I worked hard enough throughout my life to get to a point where I could wake up every single day and not have to clock in for a 9 to 5. That's because of hard work and dedication. But if I would have took those years and instead sat somewhere abusing drugs, blaming everybody else for my problems, I would not be where I am today.
That's right. I
I got here
agree.
through hard work and not
Yes.
giving up. I did the things that no one wanted to do, went on the missions nobody wanted to go on, because I knew that it would get me where I wanted to be faster.
Yep.
I don't complain about
What
nothing.
did that look like? What did a day like that look like when you just, I'm not giving up, but you hadn't quite made it to the place of success. I'm living that dream yet, but a day of, I gotta get up, I gotta go get it. What did a day like that look like for you? Tell us what an experience of that was. Somebody needs to be encouraged. Somebody needs to be encouraged. Somebody needs to know that when they down, you gotta pick. You're responsible for picking
Picking
yourself back
yourself
up.
back up.
Yes,
And
you're
that's what it looked
responsible for
like.
that.
It looked like me going through my whole entire contacts on my phone and looking at every single name and knowing that I couldn't call those people to help me out the situation that I was in. It looked like me getting up and realize, okay, I done went through everybody in my phone book and I know I can't get it done there. What can I do next? Forward thinking, always thinking forward and not backwards. Yeah, I understand what happened. I understand where I came from, but what do I do next? Where do I go from here? It's about sitting down with yourself in silence and picking up a pen and a piece of paper and starting to write down where you're at in life and write down where you want to be, and then writing down the steps of how you get there. If I ain't got no money in my pocket, that means I need to find a job or a hustle. You can walk down the street right now and see 30 now hiring signs. Something that a lot of people didn't know. A year ago, I was working at Walmart in Birmingham, Alabama as an overnight stock because I had just left my husband. I didn't
One
have
year
no
ago.
I didn't have no foundation. I didn't have no support, nothing. I went home and my family, they took me in, but they couldn't really help me get to where I was because they weren't there. You see what I'm saying? So I went and got a job at Walmart, working overnight stock for 4 months, taking those checks, stacking it to do what I needed to do. Because when I first got to Birmingham after leaving, my car broke down. My transfer case in a Range Rover went out on me. It was a $7,000 repair after just walking out on my whole life. And it's not like we had been in there, fighting and arguing for months and weeks. And I was just like, you know what, fuck this, I don't want to do this no more. No, one day I just woke up and I was just done. Because what happened is I had hit 5 years out of the army. And I told myself when I got out in 5 years, I'll be a millionaire. And I woke up on that fifth year and I wasn't a millionaire, but I had $1 million brand. So I did reach my goal. I got out, I transitioned, went to college, graduated from college, started a brand, all of that stuff, right? But I was unhappy. So I had to look at why I was unhappy. I was still hurting. I was still damaged, and I was incurring more damage daily, weekly, and monthly. So I had to really sit down and look at and assess my surroundings. And the first thing I said was I needed a break. I didn't want to leave my husband. I loved that man to death. I did not want to leave him. I didn't want to leave those kids. But in the mind state that I was in, I was not mentally healthy, stable, or sound enough to be there around those people and be conducive, because I will never be the reason that somebody has regrets. I will never be the reason why somebody feels like I couldn't do this in my life because of you. No, baby. If I'm not helping you, if I'm hindering you, then that means I gotta go. I can't be your reason or your excuse no more. And you can't be mine either, because I've never blamed a person for my problems.
Yeah. Yeah, because we have a choice at the end of the day.
That part.
Yeah. It's a choice.
That part.
Yeah.
Because
So
my,
yeah, I'm sorry.
no, it's just honesty. So this is the first time I'm really speaking my truth. You know what I mean? Because I don't talk about my business, because my business is my business. The moment that I get out here and start talking, and depending on who I'm talking to, they take your business and your story and they take it and run it in another voice or another tone or another mindset. And now you're out here looking crazy, stupid,
Yeah.
confused, all types of things, not understanding. Ain't you ever been in love before?
Yeah.
I ain't dumb. I'm in love. It's a difference.
Yep.
So,
Huge
it was a
difference.
lot. It was a lot. I grew through and went through so much while at the same time battling for my mental health because, of the things that I went through in the military. But I wouldn't change the things that I went through in the military for $1 million, because it set me up for life. I am now
Yeah.
paid for life to the point where I can wake up and just do whatever it is that I want and still be okay as long as I live within my means.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't take that. It changed me. It gave me discipline. It made me humble. It made me grateful. I'm grateful for every single day that I get up and walk outside the door because I've been to Afghanistan and I know what war is like. I didn't deploy to a sustainment mission or contingency mission. I invaded the country. I joined the army under George W. Bush. I deployed under Barack Hussein Obama. I was at my first unit less than 45 days before we were on a plane headed to Afghanistan. I was a teenager when I went to that place. In the beginning, I deployed to a place that was nothing but tents, cots, and guns. When we were leaving a year later, leaving the country, it was being built up. They had like concrete roads in, and they were dropping these little containers for the soldiers and stuff to live in. I lived in a tent in a desert on a cot for a year, breathing in shit water, listening to incoming and outgoing artillery going over the tents that we were living and working in, or because our post didn't have no alarm systems, or just running to the bunker because something hit a little bit too close. Like people don't understand when you have to put yourself through that mentally. Have you ever been so afraid of something that you can't be afraid no more? You just wake up one day and you're not scared anymore. Nothing
Yeah.
scares me. People don't scare
Yeah.
me. But I went to Afghanistan.
Yeah. Like what we talking about?
Baby, dug trenches in the real desert, mile-long trenches because they can't get no ditch switches out there. And I'm signal, and I'm tactical signal, meaning first in, last out, expeditionary. You're going where the infantry goes. And I served in a time where women couldn't be combat in arms. Are you serious? You see my
Yeah.
shoulders? You see how broad I am? That the army gave me that. I've always been skinny. That was muscle mass that converted to fat when I got out and refused. I am still on a boycott for working out and exercising. I refuse.
Yeah.
You ain't never been forced to do push-ups, forced to squat, forced to do all of this stuff because they're smoking you or teaching you a lesson. Has your body
Yeah.
ever been used as a weapon or a weight against you? Because
No.
until then, we ain't talking. We. And that's why a lot of
I couldn't
times,
even relate.
and that was just one of the lives I lived. Because prior to that, I went through a traumatic upbringing in the hood, dealing with a mother who dealt with substance abuse and rehab stints, jail stints, you know, but growing up watching that happen to my mother. You see what I'm saying? Growing up in a family that was a family. Do you understand? Our name rang bells in our neighborhood, so you know what that means.
Yeah.
You know, dealing with the abuse, the molestation, getting older, turning into my teenage years, developing into a woman, and dealing with rape because men feel like they can take what they want to take from you. Not understanding that no means no. You're my brother. You're black just like me. You're supposed to protect me. Why would you ever hurt me like that? But I understood then, from a young girl on up, people could hear my voice and they could see my power. And not
Yep.
everybody has your best interest at heart. So people will try to take things from you and break you, and you cannot allow them to. The thing that has saved me throughout my life and kept me going is I am an avid reader. I used to go to the library and steal books. Because when I was out there in the streets and I was homeless, I would stay up all night reading books because I knew that there was a better life out there for me somewhere. I just had to get to it.
Yes.
And that's what
Yes.
I did. And every single day I write my story. So when
Hmm.
I when it's time for me to go, oh, I'm leaving behind an amazing story. When I do have children, my children are gonna have something phenomenal to look up to and to try to aspire to be. And I'm happy about that. And I'm writing that legacy every single day. When I tell you I done been through it. Drug abuse personally. Do you understand what I'm saying? Domestic violence with me being the one that's out of control, not getting to the point of actually violently putting my hands on somebody, but being to the point where I couldn't control myself enough to be able to sit here and have a regular conversation with a person because they wreak that much havoc on my mental health.
Yeah. Man.
And learning to overcome all of that, going out and getting the help, going and saying, hey, listen, y'all the VA, y'all supposed to be here to help us. I need help because things in my life are not right. They're not okay. It takes being strong enough to look yourself in the mirror and be like, all right, sis, this is not okay. This,
Hmm.
you got to do better than this. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
all dependent upon self. A lot of times I hear people complaining, you know what I mean? And I try my hardest never to be a complainer, you know, and we point the fingers and we blame, but we have to understand that people can only do to us what we allow us to do to what we allow them to do to us. So if people are over here doing you wrong and hurting you and doing these things, that might mean you need to go into a period of isolation and
Yeah.
work on that self-love and work on those boundaries and work on that self-respect. Because when you respect yourself, When I began to respect myself, honestly respect myself and love myself,
You
there were
didn't put
things
up
that
with
I
all
wouldn't
kind
allow
of stuff.
myself to do to me, and there was definitely things
Yeah,
that I wouldn't allow other people to do to me. Hold on, sis. What did you just say to
absolutely.
me? Let me clean you up right quick, because words have power, and you will not speak that over me. And that's the same thing that I said when I was sitting up there on that panel. Words have power. I don't allow people to say anything to me, talk to me any type of way. None of that. I will cut a conversation real short. Okay, bye, friend. It was nice meeting you. Gotta go, because I'm not even gonna allow you to bring me to that level or to that point, because you don't have that type of power over me. Instead, I'm gonna
Yeah.
make you mad.
Hmm. And everything that you talked about, your childhood, you talked about the military, you talked about, leaving your husband, you talked about all of that, and all of that was hard. All of that was difficult. But the most challenging part was the day that you decided that you were going to do something to change yourself. The day when you said, I have to get some type of help because I'm not okay. I am going to fall to pieces. I am going to lose my mind. That was the day when you really took your power back. That was the day when you really and truly defeated the enemy. And that was the hardest part, because as long as
That's
you were allowing yourself to continue to fall victim to all of those things, that was the norm. But now you're deciding to change the game. You're deciding that you're no longer going to be a victim to those things. So that really and truly was the hardest part, and you
facts,
did it.
man.
And that's why your life is growing and it's multiplying and it's fruitful. And it's because you took that step. You realized, you recognized that it was a change that had to happen. It was something that had to occur. And most people will agree that when they have finally realized, look, man, something ain't right with me. I went to counseling. I went to counseling. It wasn't me. I didn't drive myself to counseling, but I thank my mother till this day. My mother she drove me and she dropped me off. She said, get out the car. Okay.
And
But
that's how I
thank
did myself. I
her.
drove myself there, and I sat in the VA parking lot for, oh, this was back in what, 2017. 2017, I was still in Hawaii, and I drove myself to that VA parking lot because I knew this is not, this is not how I'm supposed to be. This ain't
Yeah.
me. When I realized I wasn't me, that's when I knew,
Mhm.
okay, well, maybe these people are right. Maybe I might have PTSD. You hear the keyword, might. Maybe I
Yeah.
might have PTSD.
Mhm.
Maybe I might, And so it took me going in and learning what PTSD was, how it affected me, what the symptoms of PTSD was, the fact that I had been living in survival mode, not from the time that I had came back from Afghanistan, but from the time that I had grown up, from
Yeah.
being a little kid on up.
A little
It took me
bit.
going back and unpacking trauma. What happens is when you begin to unpack trauma, you begin to remember things,
Mhm.
because we block a lot of stuff out. You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
as I began to remember things, it was like every time I had a new memory, I had to learn how to work through those things. So it's like when you're healing, the hardest part of healing is the healing itself, because you have to rip that band-aid off. You
Got
have to
it. Oh my
peel that
God.
scab, and you have to re-bake that bone. You have to refeel those feelings so that you can learn how to change them, and to change the mindset and the thought process and the perspective into
Yes.
something else. I didn't begin to forgive my mother until I began to reach the ages that my mother was when she was raising us.
Yeah.
And as I hit 28 and 29 and 30 and 31, I began to realize if I had four girls right now, I wouldn't make it.
Mhm. You
And
seen
that's when
another
forgiveness began to come,
side.
because understanding really began to come. It was really when I turned 15, because my mother had my older sister when she was 15, she had me when she was 18. And at 18 years old, my mother watched my father get murdered. She watched him die, you know? Um,
You
and I
started
began
understanding a little bit differently.
Yes. I began to
Yeah.
understand so much more, and I began to forgive her. Don't get me wrong. We still got a tumultuous relationship, but
Yes.
that's because, she's her and I'm me. But at the same
Right.
time, a lot of the anger and hatred that I used to have towards her is gone. Because
Mhm.
with knowledge and understanding comes growth
Wisdom too.
and wisdom.
Yep. Yep. Everything though takes time. Everything I'm learning, everything takes time. What you may not necessarily understand right now, you might not understand right now why it's something right now I'm dealing with. I don't understand. Like I don't understand why it's happening the way that it's happening. But I'm making way, okay? And I'm going through it. And I'm trying to go through it as gracefully as I can. And as I'm going through it, it's like I'm being reminded, don't try to figure out in this moment Why? Okay? You're gonna drive yourself completely freaking crazy trying to figure out why.
You just got to go through the
Just
process.
keep going. And in time, when you're supposed to understand why, it'll be revealed to you
Let me tell you something.
why. Right
I
now, it
beat
is
my.
not for you, huh?
Listen to myself. I got because you just hit something. Let me tell you something. I beat myself up for 2 years because of how I left my last relationship and what I had to do to leave it. I had to disgrace myself, bring shame upon myself, all of those things. But I had to break my own heart and break the soul tie to get away from it because I was head over heels in love with that man. And the way my loyalty is set up, nothing would have made me leave him. So I had to do something in order to break away. And for 2 years, I cheated on him and came back the same day, told him I cheated on him. He was like, no, okay, I deserved it. Bro, nobody deserves to be cheated on. You feel what I'm saying? I gotta go. If I went and took those steps, that means I need to go. I'm not supposed to be here anymore. So I went home, I admitted that, told that man that to his face, and left. He, in retaliation, went live, tried to dog me, bring me up because that moment he was heartbroken because yesterday she was my wife and today she's gone.
Yeah.
But if
Mhm.
I wouldn't have did what I did that day, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I would still be sitting down in a house in Florida arguing, holding him back and him holding
Trying to
me back,
figure out stuff.
trying to figure it out.
No.
And now, let me tell you something. Now it's crazy because once you get past all the anger, you start realizing stuff and getting understanding, knowledge, and wisdom. So now, me and him are able to actually sit on the phone, talk, have conversations, meet up, link. We're actually
Oh,
becoming friends
good.
again. In a
Yeah.
place where we were enemies, because for so long I was mad at him and I was like, "You did this to me, you did that to me," not understanding. No, we did a lot of shit to each other.
Yes.
We
Mhm.
hurt each other.
Right.
And the best thing for us to do was to separate
Separate.
because that was the only way we was going to grow
Yeah.
as
And it's
people.
to know that. It's to know that because we could stay in some stuff, boy. We could stay in some stuff that we know is not healthy for us, just holding on to it, holding on to it, holding on to it, and we're steady fading away. We're steady fading away. Something you and I have in common is the whole identity crisis thing. That for
Girl,
me came
that was
through my relationship, and it was because you don't want to let go. So you keep on holding on to something that's diminishing you, destroying you. And next thing you know, you don't even know who you are anymore. You're holding on to dead weight. You're holding on to something that's mentally exhausting. It's not only mentally exhausting, but it's mentally abusing you. It's not healthy to your mental state of mind. It's not healthy to your emotional state. It's not healthy to your physical state because your mental and your emotions is not being taken care of. So now it's taking a toll on your physical.
and then it
Your
makes a toll on your
spiritual
body.
ain't good because nothing else. No other part of your mental, physical, or emotional is good. So it's just like a losing situation. And so now that's your whole being. And now your whole being is just totally out of whack. And I
And
went
that's
through that
where I
for 10
was
years.
2 years ago at rock bottom. Everything in me was out of whack. My whole body. That's why I was weak enough to commit the act that I committed because I wasn't me. I've always been strong my whole entire life. I've been strong since I was a baby because I was born 3 months premature. I had to fight to even be here. I came out breech. I didn't come in this world head first. I walked into it, feet first, breach. Do you understand what I'm saying? I've been fighting my whole entire life. And when it got to the point where I couldn't fight no more, where I didn't have the strength to fight no more, I knew I had to leave. Because if I wouldn't have left, I would have submitted.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I
Girl.
wouldn't be Angie Bell. I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I wouldn't be inspiring and motivating and healing like I am right now. Instead,
Yeah.
I would be deep underneath that identity crisis, being who
Mm-hmm.
somebody else told me I was, doing what
Yeah.
somebody else told me I was supposed to do. This is how
Mm-hmm.
you're supposed to act. This is how I want you to represent me. This is what I want you to be, and this is who I want you to be. But that's not who God said I was supposed to be. That's not
Yeah.
who I was when you fell in love with me. When you fell in love with
Yeah.
me, I was Angie wholeheartedly. So allow me to
Mm-hmm.
continue to be her, and I'm gonna allow you to
Mm-hmm.
continue to be you. But right now, I gotta go and find myself. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry if it hurts, but you got a bigger responsibility to handle right now because you got 3 little kids in here that came from you that need you more than you need me right now. So handle
Mm-hmm.
your business, and I'll be on the
Yeah.
other side.
Mm-hmm. That was big.
It was
That was
facts.
big.
That man calls me now and be like, listen, what happened to us had to happen to us. I know. In order for you to grow, in order for me to grow, we were holding each other back, and that we had to stop doing that. Now we've both grown. So
Yeah.
now when you talk to me, I'm a different person. When I talk to you, You a different person. So therefore we have to learn to have respect for each other again. So what happens when you be
Yeah.
in a relationship with a person so long, sometimes you begin to lose respect for them. You begin to lose, like, you know what I mean? The things that attracted to you in the first place, that awe thing about you, those butterflies in your
Yeah.
stomach. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to miss me in order to remember who I was in the first place.
Yeah.
And the
Yep. It
same
just
vice
all starts to
versa.
go out the window.
Right. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
sit here and keep comparing your love to me, saying it's not good enough or not enough. Let me go in here and see. Let me go in here and experience. You feel what I'm saying? And see. Let me
Yeah.
live. And then
Let me
hopefully you
live.
can learn to live with me. And if you can't, then hey, then it was good. A season, a reason, a lifetime, right?
You hear me? Because I gotta be me. I
100%.
have to be me. You see what that say, huh? You were born to be real. Okay? You gotta be you. Like it's a miserable life trying to you wake up every day underneath what someone else is trying to build you into or create you into being, just controlling everything about you. That's miserable, you know.
And he was doing it
I
to
was
me and
to
I
the
was doing
point
it to
where I
him.
didn't even, girl, I was to the point that I didn't even, like, my whole style was gone. Like my hair, how I would dress, like, I'm talking
Do
about
you
just
see me now?
totally
Every time you
confused.
see me, I got some crazy color in my head. You feel what I'm saying? Because
And that's
that's who I
you.
am. Like I went and
Yeah.
got this tattoo on my hand, and this was a real soft, sour point in our relationship. Like, why would you go get something on your hand? Like that's not professional. That's not.
Yeah, but you don't know the life. You don't know the life God has for me. Okay.
It
This
was nothing
might
when
be
I had
my
your name
passion,
tattooed
my
right here, right?
profession.
You feel what I'm saying? But it was just, thank you. That was just a testament of just, you know what I mean, how much we were trying to force our own ideals on each other. You feel what I'm saying? And what I had with the concept that, or what I began to understand is, I'm a very independent woman, period, point blank. That's how I was raised to be. When you take an independent woman and she gets in a relationship, she has to change everything about her because she has to learn how to become dependent.
Right.
That's what happens when you go from being a me to a we. Now you're a team. Now your success is dependent upon the other person. You feel what I'm saying? Because you can sabotage me and I can sabotage you. Our words have power when we speak our life and we manifest and all that other stuff. But if you're sharing your manifestations with a person that doesn't have the same exact goals as you or the same exact intent as you or energy as you, you know what's going to happen? Everything that it is that you're trying to manifest is going to end up in ruin.
Yeah.
Period. You in here,
Period.
you feel what I'm saying? You laying next to the person that has the back door to your life, and that back door is dangerous because you can do one or two things and throughout that back door. You can make me or you can break me.
Hmm. Yep.
So for a while, I had to take control of my own life. You feel what I'm saying? And that, when I'm saying something, that part, those 2 years ago, that decision, that hurt. That hurt. Now
Yeah.
ain't a lot of stuff in my life really hurt me, but walking out that door, that hurt.
It did. It absolutely did. But look at you today.
Still
Check you
single.
out, girl. Check you out, girl. You doing the thing, baby.
Doing it and
You know?
loving doing. I'm doing what I love. I get up every single day and literally do what I love to do. Y'all said on a
Yeah.
first of all, y'all, if y'all here, buy your tickets to Bronner Brothers. This here show this year is about to be something different. It's epic. It's a 3-day convention out here in Atlanta, but you already know we going all the way up. If you love me, come down because we kicking it, we partying, we going out, we getting glam, we being pretty, and we being bad bosses all over the city. So if you really rock with me the way you say you rock with me, you love me, come to Atlanta February 24th through the 26th. Be there.
This girl. Did y'all even hear what she said? Do we need her to slow down a little bit?
That's that Rhode Island in me.
I'm
Don't do that.
seeing you.
Don't do that. Yeah, April,
You
you're
heard
right.
what I'm telling you.
Oh, we didn't say hi to none of the new people. Hey, sister. That's my sister, Lakeisha. That's Daniel. That's my best friend. I'll tell you.
Girl,
That's my best
too
friend.
busy running it. Too busy running
Miss
it.
Lightning Harris.
Let me see who
Jasmine,
these
why I keep
people
calling you
are
Miss
on
Lightning?
her.
Right. We got to
Let
say
me
hi to the
see.
people. We can't just be here talking. Hi, Crystal. How you doing? April. My cousin Kiana. I ain't seen her since we was little. Hey,
What it
Erica.
do, Uncle J? Let me see. Bradley
Oh, yeah, that's my
Worthington?
brother. He
Bradley
taught me how to make
Worthington.
wigs on a sewing machine. He used to do my
Huh?
hair in 2016. He used to fly. Let me tell you something. Bradley was killing frontals
So
before people even
Bradley
knew what a
been
fucking
down.
wig is. Hi,
Bradley been
Ariana.
down. All right. Quiana Crawford.
Kiana. That's my cousin.
Yeah. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
is she the one that was with
Hey,
you at
Erica.
was she with you at the
No, that was my sister Kish. Yeah, Kish was with me in Houston.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. She was the
Shirley
little bad,
White.
real thick chocolate girl. Twin.
Hi, Miss Shirley. Latricia Madison.
That's my
Hi.
best friend. We've been best
All
friends since high
right,
school.
best friend.
I got a crush on her too. Hey Trisha.
Miss
Oh,
Lightning
she's crazy.
Harrison. You know Miss Lightning?
Yeah, that's Jasmine.
All right,
That's my
Jasmine, what it
sister from
do?
Hawaii. What up, Chaz?
What it do, sis? All right, Roberta Hawkins.
She was the first woman to win my Mother's Day giveaway. That's mom.
Okay.
Her
All
and her daughter
right.
show out for me all the time.
Okay. Well,
Her
you
daughters
you
named
got
Jamie
you got
Alani.
some support out here, sis. They came through for you,
Jamie,
baby.
what's up, big Jamie?
Okay, who's Jamie? Lifted Auras.
My homeboy, all right, yeah, that's my homegirl from Hawaii. Yo, she's dope. You need to book her for a sound bowl session. Oh my God. And just follow her page for motivation. Or be really on her spiritual stuff. For real, for real. Her energy is pure. You know, I don't play with everybody when it comes to that spirituality stuff. But Aura, that girl,
Yeah.
for real, for real. She real. She legit. Legit.
All right, Aura. I will be coming for you. Okay.
Right? That Dawn Lamba, that's my auntie Dawn. Bianca Fox,
Okay.
do you do makeup also, Angie? I'll be able
Hey,
to. No, I
Ari.
don't do makeup, but you could book with Freedom on the Beat. Follow him on Instagram at Mr. Gifted Two Hands and look at his work. He the coldest, and he a celebrity makeup artist. So if you're trying to get beat, Bianca, you need to book with Freedom.
This girl
And
talks
you need
so
to do your
fast,
photo
y'all.
shoot at the studios that I'm at. Nora Studios.
We're
I
gonna have
actually got
to
a little
get
studio really done. Y'all need to
what is
come.
it? Text by speech? Is it text by speech? When the words go by what you say, is it text by speech? I'm gonna make sure we have that for Angie next time she on the podcast, y'all. Don't worry, I got y'all. Don't
All
worry.
right, I'll slow down. I'm sorry, I get excited. When I'm in my real me, that's what you get. You get the real me. I talk real fast.
And you are on Authentic, baby. So you are definitely free to be yourself here,
Oh,
okay?
because we've been spilling tea,
Listen.
baby. I don't talk about my relationships to nobody.
Well, I feel so honored and blessed, okay? I feel honored and blessed, honey. All right. Let's see. Patrice.
And don't. Oh yeah, Patrice, that's my sister from Birmingham. I met her. Matter of fact, I met Patrice in Birmingham right when I had left, you know what I mean, and was trying to rebuild my life, restabilize and stuff like that. And I was just around Birmingham, just speaking my truth. Hey, I'm Bundles by Bell. Y'all need to tap in with me. Like I'm that girl, like you know what I mean? Like my brand huge. Watch this, like swear to God. And a year later, everything that I said that I was gonna be doing, that I told that woman that I was gonna be doing, I did.
Wow. Tell us some of the celebrities that you have interacted with, you worked with, you put their wigs on, sis. Like, tell us some of these people you got in your life right now.
Okay, so the first celebrity I've ever made a wig for was Sanye. And it's crazy because literally the day I met Sanye, I had drove to Atlanta from 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 Florida, and I was debating. I was like, you know what, like I'm not happy. Like God, if I'm making the right decision, let me know. You know what I mean? And I had went into the mall to go shop for this event that I had came to Atlanta for, and I was in the store. I think I was in Shop Akira, and Sanye came
Mhm.
in, and I was coming out the dressing room, and I was just like, "Oh wow, she's really pretty." So I just walked up on her. And I started doing my little spiel. Hi, my name's Angie. I own Bundles by Bell. Since you need, let me make you a wig. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I was like, "Follow me on Instagram," and she was like, "I don't follow nobody on Instagram." Okay, sis, follow me. Like the fuck, like I'm, you know. So she started laughing just like you did, and she was like, "Girl, give me your phone." So I gave her my phone, and she DM'd herself. I thought she followed me, didn't. So I didn't know who she was. So I'm like, "All right, girl, I'm gonna hit you up." Whoop, whoop, whoop. Went on about my business, right? I get back to my car like 30 minutes later, and my phone buzzes off from Instagram. So I open it up, and it's from Sanye, and I'm like, "Girl, who is this girl?" So I tap on her profile, and was like, "Oh snaps." She a singer, songwriter, got a Grammy. Like she is out. She's
Good to
girl.
know. I gotta
Like
get home. My team.
and so in my mind, that's when stuff started clicking. I'm like, that's why the store was empty when we came back out of it. That's why those
Mm,
dudes was in there. It started clicking for me. I was like, oh snaps. You know what I mean? Like she was. So I went home and I thought nothing of it. Like okay, yeah, cool. Like she sent me a DM, whatever, whatever. Like 2 weeks later, she hit me up and she was like, "What's up? You trying to make the wig or no?" Girl, say
Me?
less.
Yeah, I'm gonna make
Got on
it.
that goddamn sewing machine. Girl, so that wig. I was in Birmingham at the time. Girl, so that wig in Atlanta so fast. I'm like, what? And she wore it, and she wore it.
Girl,
And
you get on my nerves. You
I'm
was
telling
working
you.
that machine.
That's what that machine sound like when you on there. It sound like a money counter.
Yeah.
All the time. And that's what it is. It's a money machine. So I ended up making her the first wig, you know what I mean? She loved it and she started rocking with my brand. And then, I made the big decision to move out here to Atlanta. And I moved out here and I ended up vending this event called the Women in Wine event. And it's also where I met Ashley Key. So the event was being hosted by Tiffany Michelle, but it's where I met Ashley Key as well, who hosts the Babes and Brutes empowerment brunches that I met you at. So at this Women in Wine event here in Atlanta, Yandy was one of the headliners, one of the prominent key speakers. So I think it was like Yandy, Dr. Heavenly, Drew Sidora. Like she just had this whole lineup of heavy hitters. And I was like, I gotta vend this event. So, I bought the tickets and I vended, right? And on the last day, the third day, by then I had sold out. So I was like, man, I ain't no reason for me to even go up there. You feel what I'm saying? Like I done sold out. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna go. And like maybe 30 minutes into the event, I ended up going. I just went because my stuff was already in the car. I went. I was like, hey, I'm late. Can I still set up? They was like, yes. I set up. 45 minutes later, here come Yandy. Right. Yandy and Bryant. So, and Bryant is her stylist. He's like her brother, her stylist, her best friend, everything. You know what I mean? They came and they walked around all the booths, and then she came over to my booth, and I was like, oh my God, girl, like I manifested you. Like I'm going crazy. And I'm like, listen, like you gotta try my product line with this. I was like, girl, Yandy, you need to let me make your wigs. Like I'm in there, like just going. You feel what I'm saying? And she's just being Yandy, she's very sweet and kind. So she was like, yeah, here's my stylist. So he was like, what you talking about, sis? So I'm like, listen, Brian, take my number. He took my number and I took his. And, I was like, yo, you need to let me put a wig on her. I was like, I'm dope. I'm cold. I make wigs by hand, whatever. He was like, yeah, girl, we're going to check you out. All right. And I was like, okay. And that was it. And I met Dr. Heavenly. I met Drew there that weekend. I met Drew multiple times. But anyway, the weekend passes and, life goes back on. And one day I'm at school because, I came out here to go to Paul Mitchell School, Atlanta. So I'm at school one day and my phone goes off and it's like, can you make Yandy a wig for her VH1 reunion?
Girl.
Do you have to ask? The day y'all met me, what y'all don't know is I went home and ordered the kinky straight hair because I know that's her texture, and then I made it into a wig already. I already got real footage waiting for y'all.
What happened.
I was
How you was? How you was on that? How you was on that? On that machine.
I was in there. Girl, for Yandy. Oh, what you talking about? Ain't ashamed of it, cause do. So I was like, yeah, I was like, of course. I was like, I actually have a wig in mind. Matter of fact, delivered the wig to them, and I didn't hear anything back. A couple days go by, and I'm like, okay, well maybe they didn't like it. Girl, them pictures and posts and tags started coming in on one. My phone just started going off, and I was like, yo, and it was her in the unit, just like it been up since there. I styled that woman for a whole year and a half. I still put her in wigs now, you know what I mean? Brian, actually, her stylist, her best friend, helped me put me into the rooms that I needed to be in. He introduced me to Jason Tavares. Jason is how I ended up styling Cynthia Bailey. He also put me onto Elle Varner. So the crazy, I pulled up to my house. He brought her to the crib. He was like, and it's crazy because the day that he pulled up with Elle, I had just got suspended from Paul Mitchell for being clocked in and not being in the building. I ain't perfect. So they had suspended me, and I was like, I'm not even mad.
Like it was supposed to happen.
Baby, I'm driving to the house. He hits me. He's like, yo, Angie, what you doing? I'm like, actually, I'm headed to the house. Why? He was like, listen, I got somebody. I need you to make her a wig. Can you do it? And I was like, well, who is it? He was like, well, I'll show you when I get there. I was, okay, Jason, whatever. Secret squirrel. He pulls up to the house, and she walks in, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, you're Elle Varner. She was like, yeah, I am. You're my house. I started going crazy, like, oh my God. I made her wig in an hour. Wait her wig, let her down. You guys all right? You need some water? It's too cold in here for you? What?
Oh my goodness. I love it.
I made her wig, styled her, you know what I'm saying? And she loved it. A couple weeks later, maybe 2 weeks later, I'm at school, and Bryant again hits me up. He was like, listen, are you busy? And I'm like, nah, what's up? He was like, I need you to do me a favor, Angie. Bro, your favors do not be simple. What do you want?
Okay.
He was like, well, Faith is in town, and I need you to go and cut her hair for me. Faith Evans? He was like, yeah, Faith, that's my sister. You know what I mean? Da-da-da. I've been doing her hair for 20 years. And I was just like, you want me to go cut her hair? You want me to go do her hair for her? He was like, yeah. Okay.
Girl, you
Okay. Okay. here I am going over here to Waldorf Astoria to cut this lady's hair. And she opens the door and I freeze. You're Biggie's wife. And it was
Bruh.
up from there, you know what I mean? And so I've, since then, I've made her wigs, and Faith hates wigs. She loves my wigs.
Wow.
Being
You
invited
just
into the
walking in
back
your
door.
anointing, man. You just walking in your anointing like it's just.
Honestly, Letitia Pearson, I just got to style her for the Bell Collective. I just gave a product pack to TikTok Mama, to Trish, TikTok Mama, when I was at the
Uh-huh.
Women in Wine event, and she's using it. I see it all the time in her shower on Instagram, and I told her not to leave me a review until she finished the set. It's gonna take her 6 months to finish those bottles.
My
So I
goodness.
got blessings on the horizon coming up. Right now, I sit on the board of advisors for Bronner Brothers. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I be at all of these, and Yandy and Brian
Okay, so hold
invite
on,
me
wait a
to
minute,
every.
because I gotta slow you down because I have so many questions for you, but you just been going like 90 to nothing. Hold on, wait,
I know
hold
that's
up.
what you wanted.
So okay, so board of directors, is that what you said?
Advisors.
Okay, board of advisors. What is that?
I am advising, myself and five other people are advising Bronner Brothers, specifically their trade show division, on how to restructure their trade show and bring it into 2023. Bronner Brothers has been alive for 75 years. They've been around for 75 years. They are a historic company and they are legendary. But one of the issues that they're running into is that, and it's not really an issue, it's the fact that we just don't know who they are anymore. See, our moms know about them and our grandparents know about them and our aunties know about them, but we haven't done our job during this generation to continue carrying the torch and promoting who Bronner Brothers is and what they do for us as a beauty community, as the beauty industry. See, Bronner Brothers is a 3-day convention for anybody who's in the beauty industry, whether you're a hairstylist, makeup artist, esthetician, a braider, a loctician, if you have a beauty brand, anything. They do a 3-day convention where they have a trade floor. That's where all these big brands like Babyliss, Redken, Kiss, Adore, every beauty supply stores, major league vendors, hot tool makers,
Yes.
shear makers, everybody come. They buy these booths on the trade floor. Celebrities have booths on these floors. Last year when I went, I'm obviously, yes, Yandy. Cliff Amir had his booth down there, so I picked up a whole bunch of products for him. Got to rub shoulders with him, talk, network, build, grow. Man, there were so many big names. The owner of Private Label Extensions was there. Like, everyone was in the building, and I got to meet and interact with everybody. So now all these people in the industry know who I am. But that wouldn't happen if I didn't go to Bronner Brothers.
Okay.
It's just a
Connection.
3-day affair for the beauty industry. Anything you want to know, they're doing continuing education, classes, competitions, giving away prizes, and then you have the actual annual hair show that happens on Sunday night. It's the last night of the event, which is the big hair show battle competition. And this year, they've rewritten it, and it's so much bigger than it's ever been, but it's more targeted and focused. And for the first time ever, they're bringing in estheticians, makeup artists, and nail techs, because nail techs are a part of the beauty industry as well. And so now I sit on a board of advisors, and we come together and we are helping them gear their company towards where they need to be to hit not the millennial demographic, but the Gen Z demographic. So bringing them into the future, it's a 75-year-old company. So now we have to understand that social media is a powerhouse, is a power
Yes,
tool for marketing
it's
and
a
sales
power
promotion.
tool.
Yes. And so
Yeah,
just, and then
yeah,
tapping into the younger demographic, because they're the future.
yes, yes,
And this is
yeah.
for them. This is
Okay,
for
so
them. This is where you're
that's
gonna meet
that's
everybody.
major.
Yeah.
That's major.
Yeah. I'm making history right now. I am literally writing out my
You're
legacy. I
making
sit on the board.
history.
I
I
am
want to pinch your
advising a
teeth.
multi-million-dollar company, a historic company,
Yes,
and my ideas are working.
yes, yeah. Well, I mean, you wouldn't be there if you didn't have what you know what I'm saying. You're an asset, so you're
Yeah.
an asset.
Yes. And life
Okay,
is
Angie,
changing.
be the asset.
What's up,
Okay,
Castro?
you're an asset, sis. So
Yeah,
look,
Castro.
someone wants to know. Oh, you're answering. You
Yeah,
see the
he's asking
question?
if I have anything for beards and for men's hair. Yes, my beard growth oil is the truth, and actually, my hair oil is a beard growth oil. It's the beard growth oil, and then my ginger shampoo and conditioner is what you need to be using. You need to be using my Let's Get Girl Starter Kit. It's not just for women; it's for men too. Shampoo, conditioner, leave-in conditioner, growth oil. Everything you need is in one little kit for $55. Shop with me, my next restock.
Lakeisha S. Daniel, hi, sweetheart. Do
Lakeisha,
you have
yeah.
a link maybe that you can
Hey, Kimmy.
post for
Hey,
tickets?
Kimmy.
If you do, go ahead on and drop that link for people who might be interested and want to go. Is there a link?
Yes, the link is on my page, but if you wanted to, you could just go to www.bronnerbros.com. But I post a link every single week. But y'all need to get on it. Thank you, Cammy. Yes, that product line is the truth on the gang. If anything that you got going on with your hair, if your hair is thinning, if you want it to be thicker, if you want manageability, if you want your curls to be curls, if you want your breakage and shedding to stop, anything like that, you need to shop with me and get on my product line. If you have psoriasis, dandruff, any type of tinnitus or capitis that affects the hair and scalp, you need to be shopping with me. That ginger shampoo and conditioner will take it away. It's going to eliminate your breakage and shedding, and it's going to make your hair grow out the wazoo. That's why everybody's going up every single restock. My edge control is the truth. You put that edge control on, your edges down for 3 or 4 days. I promise you, and it ain't whitening up on you.
Three
If it
to
do
four
whiten up on
days.
you, it's because you don't have enough moisture inside of your hair. Put a little water in your hair. I bet you won't have that problem no more. Or you're using too much of it. My leave-in conditioner is the truth. It gives us our definition. It combats the humidity that affects us, and it conditions our hair and makes it softer. My line will grow your hair, and it will make you love it. And not only that, it'll make it manageable. When you put water on your hair, you'll be able to comb straight through it from root to tip. I promise you. I guarantee you. And if you can't, text me, message me, DM me, pull up on me, and I will give you $100.
Whew. All right, baby. Okay, what is that? What's your website? Bundles by Bell?
Yep, www.bundlesbybell.com. Hey, Rosa. Yes, ma'am. Even that's why I use Roberta's post so much in her reviews, because when she first met me, she couldn't grow her hair in this area, and now her hair is fully back in there. There's another woman on my page. Her first name is Denise Mann. She hit me too, and she was like, "Girl, I've been suffering with this for almost 10 years. Look at my hair," and she got locks now.
Oh, this is a good one. Okay,
Erica.
www.bundlesbybell.com. If you guys would like to try the products, but this is a very good review. I'm gonna go ahead on and show it.
She's a Erica. I'm a cancer patient. And Angie products is the only thing that helped to grow my hair back. I'm for real. This product line is crazy. It's phenomenal. And I didn't know the full extent of it when I first started marketing and selling it. It's only now that I've been on my own product line for years, and I look at my natural and I'm like, yo, my hair has never looked like this. It's
Really,
healthy, it's curly, it's jet black, it's and I have
it's
my
the
edges
truth.
again. I didn't have edges when I got out the army. Cause from pulling that tight bun, permanent, doing all that stuff, my hairline is full again. And I wear frontals all the time. So that shouldn't be that should be impossible. And I don't always
Yeah.
put ball caps on.
Hmm.
So, but we are coming up on 57 minutes, and I am here for a meeting, and we are burning the midnight oil at this point, and my friends are waiting on me.
Well, tell them I said, tell them the host and creator of the Authentic podcast, Miss Kedra A. Lawson,
Hey,
said
Katie.
thank you so very much for allowing you to use their space for this time. I truly
Oh,
appreciate them. I hadn't even recognized that we were coming up on the hour. You getting ready to take? You getting ready? What? You getting ready to take us on
yes.
a
So,
run through?
y'all, this is a little tour before we get off. No, I'm at your showcase, right? So this is, I gotta show you guys the real way. I'm kind of on a laptop right now, okay? So these are your main doors. When you walk in, this is what you see at first. Then he has his whole showroom over here because, like I said, Roland is also a celebrity stylist as well as a creative manager. It's up here, right? And then you come into the actual showroom in the studios, which is back here. They're shooting right now, so we got to be a little quiet. Travis Porter is here shooting. So, your first showroom, your second showroom, your third showroom, your fourth one. They're shooting a vlog.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna go Cali.
And this is Status Jewelers. Status makes some of the dopest jewelry in Atlanta. It's phenomenal. But he has, and Roland Banks owns this space because he's also a creative director and a creative manager. So if you guys are looking for anybody to help you make your brand or take your brand,
Breaking up. Okay, guys. Well, looks like we lost Angie, but she's been a whole vibes. She dropped nothing but gems. We truly appreciate her coming in on the Authentic podcast. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. It's always a blessing and a pleasure. So until next time, you guys keep it real. Take a load off, okay? Take a load off, okay? Take care of your mental health. We talked about that. It's very important. Don't be letting people stress you out here. Even if you are letting them stress you out, catch your head, get it together, take care of yourself because it is very important to your everyday life, decision making, all of that good stuff. So, in order to do that, sometimes you just have to pull back from some things, some people, some places, because we got to take care of ourselves. It is very important. This is my first day back. I was saying this earlier that this is my first day back in a few weeks because I needed to take a step back. I just had a lot of overwhelm going on around me, and it started to take effect on the inside. So I had to take a step back, and I don't care what nobody said. I don't care if they said, "Oh, she started a podcast. She ain't been on a podcast." No, I haven't been on a podcast because I needed to relax my nerves, and so I did that. So I'm encouraging anybody who is feeling overwhelmed, anybody who is stressed, going through something, to take some time for yourself and to take care of yourself. Don't worry about people. Don't worry about things that you can't do nothing about. Take care of yourself. If you need to go and see somebody, talk to a therapist, because talking to your friends is not always good. Talking to, your family members or your mom, your cousin is not always good. If you need to go and talk to someone, go and talk to someone. If you're not feeling good inside, take care of yourself. That is the best nugget or advice that I could give to you on this evening because I had not been feeling myself or at my best the last few weeks or lately. And so I just thought that I would share that with you guys because I am definitely going to take care of myself. Okay. I got to look. Okay, y'all see this? I got to look like this. And so I have to, the inside has to feel just as good as the outside is looking. Okay.
the glow like that. The glow like
So
that. Because your
So
glow.
Angie is back. I'm gonna let her end with a nugget for you guys. Any word of wisdom that you would like to end the podcast with, Angie?
Oh, yes, these are my words of wisdom. Be true to yourself no matter what. Learn how to listen to your internal voice because that internal voice, because spirit will save us every single time. Take time out your day to meditate. That is where you learn to listen to spirit. Quieting your mind, taking 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes for yourself to get yourself in line. And from this moment forward, do not let people speak things over you that do not reflect who you are as a person. Like I said before, when me and my friends are laughing and joking around, we don't call each other stupid or dumb or a bitch or a hoe. We don't do that because you're not going to speak those things over me because that's not who I am. So if you take anything from me, take that. Protect your peace, protect your character, protect your spirit. And
Period.
hustle like there ain't no tomorrow. Cause baby,
Hustle like it ain't no tomorrow.
baby,
Hustle like it ain't no tomorrow. They say, how many things you gonna do, Kendra? As many as I can.
baby.
Okay.
Because
I'm gonna go
generational
to sleep
wealth
when I'm
is wealth,
dead.
baby. But like I said, guys, I really enjoyed tonight. Thank you, Key, for allowing me to be on your podcast. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I love y'all. We're gonna recap later. But I gotta go. Thank you.
Good night, guys.
because I just wanted to be Kedra. That's it. I'm just Kedra. I'm not bothering nobody. I'm just Kedra. Okay? And the things I still have to deal with, because I still deal with it. I still deal with it. It is not going anywhere. I just know how to handle it.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, they can play with me if they want to. Okay? But I am that heat that they gonna feel on the hottest day in Louisiana, because I'm gonna keep showing up as Kedra Antoinette Lawson, and that's what you gonna do too.
Right.
You're not gonna let people shame you and put you down because you just wanna be yourself.